So there you go. If you need to get a nitro engine unseized, take a little time, try to get some parts exposed, a little 3-in-1 oil. That's good compression. Hey YouTube, it's Sean, Griffin RC Planes. So I'm not the nitro engine guy, I'm the electric RC airplane guy. I'm your electronics guy. I'm here to help everybody figure out their transmitters and servos and setting up their safe select and all that. On a side note, I picked up a collection of Nitro RC cars from a coworker. And it's a big collection. When I say big, I'm talking probably 35 complete engines, probably 50 seized engines. That's why we're here today. Just going to take a couple minutes to show you how to fix this. Lots of vehicles, about 18 trucks, about 5 stadium trucks, 4 drift cars, and enough parts to build 10 more cars. And then there's no lie, this is no lie at all, about 400 pounds of parts. Half of those are new in the package. So I'm going through all this stuff and I'm selling it on eBay. That's what that was the whole point. Well, I want to show you how I figured out how to get a nitro engine unstuck. You know, people think they're seized, they're junk, that they're not usable anymore, and that's not the case. Let me show you. I've done this to about 5 now, and they all have had good compression and run perfect. Some of these are freshly rebuilt by either Traxxas themselves or the person I got the collection from. Some are brand spanking new. They even had like they came with DVDs. it was something. I don't have any more of those anymore. I sold the last one yesterday, but in the box was all kinds of paperwork and a DVD, so you can see your directions. Now they just give you a link to find your directions. I think this is another rebuilt one. Yep, freshly rebuilt. I've got enough parts to probably rebuild 20 of these. This one is brand spanking new. Where's the wrapper? Here's the wrapper right here. Ooh, you guys okay? Brand spanking new. Back in the day, $299.95. I'm probably going to sell it for about $45. Carburetor and the mount, directions and all that stuff. And then we have one that you and I are going to get freed up so that it can be usable. This one right here was stuck like Chuck. I freed this one up and I cleaned it, and it is good as new. Let me show you. You want to make sure the carburetor is wide open. About 22 pounds of compression. That's pretty good for these engines. Okay, so you're going to need a heat gun or maybe your wife's hair dryer. And this is not necessary, but if you want to, make sure you can protect the engine the best that you can. I'm going to remove the back plate so that we can access the bearings, and remove the glow plug. And then I'm going to try to get some 3-in-1 oil just everywhere that I can see that is a moving part. I've already broke the 4 bolts loose on the back. I put a little heat on them, got them going. Let me get this back off, and I'll be back. We'll get the glow plug out together. Hang tight. All right, so very important to put some heat on the screws because they've got Loctite around them, and a little bit of heat will get that locked up. So let's take a look inside here. All right, let's put some light on the subject for you. So we got the plate off, and now we can see inside, and we can see that it doesn't look that bad. With an engine that will not spin at all, you would think it'd be damaged or seized up or something. I see a little bit of rust in there. I do. This one might have the most rust in it that I've seen so far. But it's probably not rust. What the problem is people get done running their car or their airplane or something, and the nitro fuel, is 15% flammable and 85% oil, or they have 20% and 30% mixtures. So this oil gets gummy when it sits around for a while, and that's what locks them up. So let's put a couple drops. That's why I take the back off of them, and also flip it upside down so I can get some oil to run down the connecting rod. We'll put a little bit in the exhaust, up against cylinder head. We'll put some directly down the glow plug hole, and we'll put some down the throat of the carburetor. This carburetor's seized up also. Now let's get ready for the magic. All right, so I got it in a vise and I got it tilted in such a way that the oil will try to stay in there a little bit. Make sure I can get a hold of the flywheel here without damaging anything else to be able to turn it. Yep, I'm shaking the whole table trying to turn it. So medium heat, and I'm just going to try to get as much heat in various places where I can get it. Oh yeah, good and warm. Tell you what, we'll do this in real time. You can fast forward to the end if you want to see the progress or the results, or you can sit tight. This will take a minute. You want to get it pretty hot, like it's hot, like you can't touch it hot. Be careful of the little rubber around the carburetor. This one has a little boot around it. I can feel the air blowing out the exhaust. Hot, 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 hot. Try to get everything warm. And then remember that things are going to continue to get warm. Like if we stop right now, the inside will still continue to get warm. Just like cooking a steak. You take it off the grill, it's still gonna cook for a little bit. So we can get my tool here ready to try to spin this guy. Look at that. Already. Hot, hot, hot. Hot, 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 hot potato, hot potato. Trying to get it in a better position. I wonder if the carburetor will move now. So we got the carb working, and we got the engine unseized. Just like that. I think I just mentioned this already, but this is what I do for a living, but on a bigger scale. So I took one of these things to work, and there's a gas radiant heater above my toolbox, but 30 feet in the air in the ceiling. And I had this sitting on my toolbox, and I filled it full of all kinds of lubricants and stuff that I could think of that would get it unseized. And then I started spinning it. And then when I was touching it, I realized how hot it was. I'm like, that's right, the heat is doing it. So, bada bing, bada boom. It's still pretty dang toasty. Let's see how much compression this guy's got. Well, that's it. I need to get something to pull. I might be able to just turn it with my hand. So I'm going to put a couple more drops of oil in there, then I'll put the back plate on it real quick. We'll do it together. We'll do it together. These back plates go in a certain direction. Ask me how I know. Got a little notch in the top. Make sure it's still that you got your plate in the right direction. If you guys can help see inside the, I don't know if you guys can see the piston in there. There you go. Right there's the piston. So we can see that it looks to be in good shape. That's the wrist pin going right through the piston. So let me see if I can spin this thing where it'll actually make some compression. Well, let's see if the compression tester going there. I don't think it is. So here's the release button. And I've had trouble with a few engines that once you start getting it down in there, the button gets pressed. I think this one will work. Get the carburetor open. I can't spin it fast enough. With my fingers right there showing 7. If I had a real pull starter or something on it, or a way to spin a little faster, we could probably get some better compression out of it. But this thing is spinning good. It is spinning freely. So what I'll do next is I'll take the carburetor completely off. I'll take all the jets out of it. I will completely clean it out. Put a fresh glow plug in it, and I built a stand with a fuel tank on it. And then we'll get it going. All my Traxxas engines have electric start, and that makes it really dang easy. This one doesn't have pull start. This is like an airplane engine. Only on the flywheel, it has, teeth on it. It requires a starter box. That's a starter box. I haven't done anything with it except for take the sides off of it and see that it has connections for 2 batteries, 2 of the old 7.2 NiCad batteries. But your RC car will have a little slot in the bottom of its chassis, and then the flywheel will be exposed. And you set your car on the starter box. Let me show you. I'm grabbing something. You set your car on the starter box. So here's a chassis, right? And the engine will mount on the chassis. About like that. Somewhere like that. And then the flywheel will be exposed. It'll stick out just a little bit. So then you bring your RC car up to your starter box. This is a switch right here. And you'll put your RC car, something like this, and you'll put it down. And when you push down, it turns the button on. This is the little thing to catch it. There'll be some kind of a little nub on the bottom of the chassis so it doesn't boom run off on you. And you'll push down, and the wheel will start spinning, and it'll boom start turning your flywheel. So there you go. If you need to get a Nitro engine unseized, take a little time, try to get some parts exposed, a little 3-in-1 oil, and a heat gun. Hey, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I got tons and tons and tons of RC airplane stuff in the works, guys. So stay tuned. Make sure you're still subscribed. Like, share, and subscribe 10 more times. Adios. This, guys, I couldn't resist. Got a little battery on it. All right. Let's see how much we can get out of it here with something turning it just a little faster. Blocking the muffler. About 11. That's good compression.